Was Ivan? It's part two. Let's see. So there was, I don't know how you feel about this, but it looks like you've been a king, crux, king on, is in Sirius. You also been um, well, you're a crux that was very connected to owls. A lot of owl energies there, but the king, is like more like the sixth dimension energy, and yeah, trade routes, things like that. Similar to like our world, just world affairs, peace talks, things like that. Sometimes you would invade other planets because you felt that they, had resources they took from you or whatever it might be. But the energy seems to be still pretty much connected to. You also battled some snake beings that were kind of difficult to get around. But yeah, back to the Egyptian energy as a crux. You also been a fox being in Egypt. We have mentioned some of that. In different, yeah, lower Egypt is what they're showing. And you're also kind of like a healer, also a teacher of other of other fox beings. You taught them of your cultures, and some of them incarnated as humans here. So you help them incarnate. You're part of the hybrid program of Crux incarnating as humans, and you worked with the Anunnaki to assist with that. Yeah, just to be able to get used to incarnating as a human, and basically it helped that whole canine race to find some salvage, to some kind of link with a human race to have experiences, to go deeper into themselves, to open up new experiences, and just to heal. To There's different reasons for it. Also for the crux to go, have deeper, knowledge about themselves, you could say. And also to heal the reptilian, to understand how you could deal with reptilians in other lifetimes. Also show you as a crux, as a surfer on a Palladian planet. Basically, just yeah, surfing, and you just spent your whole life surfing, basically, hanging out. Just like how they would hang out here, but you're a crux and just surf a surfing planet. I would say there's a couple lifetimes like that. We've also been a let's see, yeah, Zeta Reticuli. Yeah, so not everything you've been has been yeah, Zeta lifetimes where there was some abductions in your past. You did abduct, but that was for experiments. I mean, it didn't really cause too much of a harm, but the Zeta connections actually have this in this lifetime that you're healing. And it's kind of mixing in with your Crux connection and the Zetas, where it gets kind of confusing. Well, because the Zetas didn't really understand humans, and as a Crux, you understood humans, but now you have a Zeta connection, and now it's hard to understand humans sometimes. But yeah, you have just like the Zeta connections you have. It just basically, as a scientist on other planets, you just travel to other worlds, and you're just healing that side of yourself. That's pretty deep, actually. One day that'll, I don't know how you'll feel about that, but there's still a lot of to go in there one day. You can, and the crux energy. of being also an archaeologist on, let's say, a Palladian world, where, yeah, as a crux, you're looking for other crux civilizations that were ancient, that have been forgotten. And some of them look similar to like the Egyptians, like the Nubis. And you actually spend a lot of lifetimes looking for other ancient versions of yourself as a crux. Yeah, just because it was important for your civilization to grow. So, because you knew that was the ancient history that's been forgotten due to fights with the Greys and fights with the reptilians. And some of the crux were taken, abducted by reptilians. So you're remembering that frequency, you're healing that aspect of yourself. So yeah, one day that'll come into that'll make itself clear. Yeah, that seems to be a real deep one within you. Yeah, as an archaeologist, because you're like an ancient archaeologist, and you probably feel that now in this lifetime. You might not always be able to pick up on its details, but it seems like it's still pretty strong with you. Because there's still a lot that has not been remembered or discovered within your race. A lot of, you say, yeah, a lot of wounds in the race. A lot of pain that's coming into clarity. So, well, eventually will be cleared up. Eventually. Um, let's see. Yeah, and Orion, you've been at Crux also. That's kind of your another Emperor lifetime where, yeah, you had a lot of power, but you didn't do much with it. You think you just partied most of the time. Um, you just did a lot of partying. Yeah, and those lifetimes will eventually come clear. Yeah, you just did. You were very powerful. You had kingdoms, but you didn't really do a lot with them. You're still been in a party mood. Yeah, yeah, that'll. Um, and you're still doing that today. It's like people weren't partying, you would find a way for them to party. So yeah, you have a couple worlds where you influence just for them to take it easy and just to be crazy and all that. Well, I feel currently you're healing, yeah, your Zeta connections. 'Cause you were abducted by Zetas in your past life, and maybe I don't think it was in this lifetime, but you're still healing from that. You have some Zetas that still visit you too, it seems. Every now and then, not necessarily for a negative, but sometimes they might cause you difficulties. I don't know if they have imprinted on anything on you or anything, but they're still around in some form or another. And Andromeda, you're a crux also. And in that life, in Andromeda, you're kind of domination. Yeah, domineering. You're very dominant there. Basically, had crux civilizations where you guys did whatever you felt like. Not that you were causing difficulties. I mean, somewhat, but just very powerful. You just had a consuming energy. Yeah, just very, just dominating, a dominating energy about your race. So, yeah, I mean, you even put the reptilians to the run. Not that you were trying to hurt anybody, but like the reptilians couldn't here and stop you. And you're just, you just wouldn't let them push you around. Let's put it that way. You can probably feel, and you were from Sirius, actually, and you lived in Andromeda. You're just not going to put up with any reptilians or anybody. So the Crux are a little bit aggressive only because they had to be, but overall they did connect to a more positive energy, and a lot of them you're still connected to. That seems to be a good vibration. So yeah, little by little that'll come back to you, it feels. All right, blessings.